and Fran Leonard, who have been keeping track of everything here in the booth for us and doing a superlative job in doing that. Money comes right here, guys. No problem at all. Al Unser Jr. out in front. Nigel Mansell runs in second place. But it's a long way to go to get up to the front.
But you can see from the beating that the drivers take here that at any moment something can go wrong. A suspension part break.
Just watch Nigel's head right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really getting a lot of beating. Looks like he's getting beat up pretty bad.
Airplanes, of course, have a lot more suspension travel than IndyCar.
Yeah, about 5 feet compared to 5 inches.
Just look at little Al's head go up and down those last bumps that he went through. Really a rough course. He'll be sore tonight.
And you say little Al is actually suffering from some back problems, but do any of you notice that when you're in the car?
Absolutely. He is so sore getting into it. They've already had to change his seat, Paul. He was doing that yesterday. I was down this morning popping his back. He's been down with the doctors while they've been working on it.
Jim Swintow with the white flag. One more lap to go for Al Unser Jr.
And he's up right behind Villeneuve, who is almost to get lapped, but of course it won't make any difference at this point in the race.
So Al Unser Jr. from the pole to a win here if he can only complete this lap, and that seems so very certain at this point. In a marvelous season for little Al.
Remember, this will make 5 out of 6 times that Al Unser Jr. has started from the pole and gone on to win the race.
You know, he's going to outdo his father's record here, Dad Big Al's record before too long, because he's winning an awful lot of races this year. He's already getting up with A.J. Foyt and my brother Al.
Al, your brother's one thing. He goes after your record. That's real trouble, right?
Terrible.
So Al Unser Jr. down the final long straightaway, looking at career win number 24 and the 5th of the year. A right and then a left. And then a checkered flag lies in wait on the runways of the Burke Lakefront Airport. And Al Unser Jr. has taken his 5th win of the year and stretches his points lead in the IndyCar battle for the championship. Raul Boesel, Adrian Fernandez just behind him. A battle for 6th place. Can Fernandez get him before the line? The only battle left on the track as it turns for home.
It's going to be hard, but he's going to try.
Fernandez trying to catch up. Just a few hundred feet to go. He might be able to get it done.
Don't think he's going to do it, Paul.
Nope. Comes off the corner with a valiant effort and really swings out to try and get all the momentum he can, but he can't catch Raul Boesel, so they finish Unser Jr., Mansell, Paul Tracy in 3rd, Jacques Villeneuve, Stefan Johansson, Raul Boesel, Adrian Fernandez, Mauricio Gugelmin, and Teo Fabi.
You know, I think the biggest thing that's going to help little Al so far this season is this race, because this is the race where he won and Emil fell out. That's where he really makes a gain on the points.
All right, take a look at this. 1-1. What a play on words. Starting on the pole, finishing 1st. 5th time in his career.
And only once did he not accomplish that feat. And that was at Australia several years ago when he finished 1st, started 1st and finished 4th. It's interesting, all 4 winners from the pole at Cleveland have been driving for Roger Penske. Sullivan, Fittipaldi, Tracy, and Al Unser Jr. now.
Al Unser Jr., when he is hot, he is sizzling. And here at the Burke Lakefront Airport, he has taken the win. We'll be back. Unofficial for the moment in the Grand Prix of Cleveland presented by Goodyear, but it seems certainly official that Al Unser Jr. has taken the win, Jack Arute.
And Paul, he did it with a record speed of 138.3 miles per hour. Congratulations, man. Number 5 for the season.
Yeah, I tell you. I just got to thank the whole Marlboro Team Penske. This car is such a beautiful race car, and Ilmore engines, they've done their homework. You know, we're running right with the Cosworths, and so, you know, what can I say? It was a good day for the team.
What does a solid race car do for the mindset for a driver?
Well, it just, you know, it shows on the first lap. You know, the first couple laps, you know, we kind of just pulled away from him, and makes it you start concentrating on your line instead of the guy behind you, and you can really start making everything happen for you, and the car just responds really well, and so it's great.
you know, it was one thing winning the Indianapolis 500. People said, well, he had the Mercedes engine. But now, with the domination that you and the entire team is having, if you were on the other side of the coin like you were in other years, what would you be telling your crews right now about Team Penske?
Well, I'd tell you, I've been in that spot before, you know, and I've told them, gosh, they're just unbeatable. But this team is really a great team, and the car's a great car. And you know, Richard Buck and the guys are just doing a great job preparing it, and so it's going to the end, and that's what we need.
With Roger Penske at the head of things, you've had a lot of great car owners, you've had a lot of great relationships with car owners, but what's the relationship between you and Roger Penske, and how is it developing and maturing as the season progresses?
Well, it's maturing really well. You know, we're getting to know each other more and more, and you know, me and Terry Satchel, my engineer, are starting to get to know each other more and more, and it's just great. You know, I'm starting to tell in Roger's tone about what's going on, and so it's wonderful.
You know, before the start of the race, on camera, we talked about the fact that you knocked your teammate, Paul Tracy, out of the hunt for the $1 million bonus. But people forget that Team Penske has not been in the national championship limelight for what, maybe 7 years now, and that's really what your concentration is about.
That's right. You know, Roger, last time he won this championship was 1988, and I run second that year, and so the main thing about, you know, when we were talking about him hiring me and all that, he said all I wanted is the #1 on the car, and so that's all we're trying to give him.
Well, he's looking for that #1, and Gary Gerould, it doesn't ever get to be old hat in victory lane for Team Penske.
It certainly does. Nigel Mansell talking now with Peter Gibbons, his chief engineer on the Newman Haas team. His children and his wife had just arrived a moment ago. Nigel, let's get a word about your reaction to this event. And I know that there's a feeling I could sense as soon as you got out of the car. You gave it everything you could today, but this Penske team is just proving to be so very, very tough.
I thought I won. Didn't I win? It felt like I won. I waved the white flag and I threw it at him, but I even missed throwing it at him.
Now, you had a couple of adventures. Let's start first when you slapped the wall down here in turn 8 with the left rear.
Yeah, I mean, I got in a real big power slide, and I just didn't want to get out of it because I was sort of holding on to, I think it was Port at the time. And I hit the wall real hard, but fortunately it was square. And then we had another incident coming out of the chicane where my teammate sideswiped me a little bit.
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk about that. What was the scenario from your seat?
No, he just came straight across.
You talk about this with him?
No, it's just one of those racing things. I just hope it wasn't on purpose. It shouldn't be, but I think he's got to watch where he's going a bit more.
Now, on the positive side of this day, you gained 2 positions in the point standings. You go now from 5th to 3rd. I would think that would be encouraging.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the Newman Haas team just did a fantastic job today. There's no question that the Penske is the team to beat this year. I mean, they've got 3 fantastic drivers. Anyone can win at any race. And, I mean, as I said, I only came second today, but I feel as though the Newman Haas team won.
So we close out a day for you at Cleveland at the Burke Lakefront Airport, and they have signed up again for next year. A look at the final results from round 8 of the PPG IndyCar World Series. Al Unser Jr. with a victory. Nigel Mansell second. Paul Tracy third. Pretty much was there all day. Jacques Villeneuve, the fastest and quickest of the Reynards, in 4th. Stefan Johansson in a 93 Penske in 5th. Raul Boesel in 6th in his Lola Ford. Adrian Fernandez, the Mexican, in 7th. The Brazilian Gugelmin 8th. Italian Teo Fabi 9th. Italian Alessandro Zampedri in 10th. Robbie Gordon worked his way back up to 11th after running 24th at one point and will get 2 points. And Willie T. Ribbs scores his first points of the season with a 12th place finish. Brian Herter, a long weekend for him. 14th, Scott Goodyear, the Canadian, 14th. 15th, Hiro Matsushita. 16th, Andrea Montemini. 17th, Parker Johnston in the only Honda car engine to finish. In 18th, Michael Andretti after a first lap incident. 19th, Mike Groff, not running at the end. Emerson Fittipaldi, Lyndike Smith, Jeff Wood, Scott Sharp, all having their trouble as the day went on, as did teammate Dominic Dobson, Brazilian Marco Greco, Mario Andretti taken out by his teammate, as he says. Bobby Rahal is in 28th position, Ross Bentley 29th, Giovanni Lavaggi is listed as 30th. So that will wrap it up for the Cleveland Grand Prix.
Classic Sports Center Top 10s brought to you by Molson Canadian.
Start, obviously very wet, conditions bad. Oh, Michael runs into the back of David. Looks like it's kind of hard to see, but Michael's pissed. Not looking too happy. He's got about 50 people in between him and David. Looks like he's not going to get close. This was a good one from last year. Harvick, he's got a really hot temper. He seems to always be getting in some kind of trouble. Drive into the side of the car, can't go anywhere, jump out, get on top of the car. There goes the hands device. I don't think Ricky Rudd, the guy, I'd want to mess around with it. Oh, this is me, ran out of fuel about 200 yards from the finish line at Montreal. We were running in 4th and ran out of fuel and lost 3 positions. So I was kind of upset. That's a $25,000 steering wheel that got broken. The old bump and run. It's like you can play the same highlight over and over again. There goes a boot protector, Ward Burton. He doesn't look very happy. Car going around. Elliott Sadler. Break your hand on the ambulance. Good thing he didn't break his hand. Jimmy Johnson gives a salute. There's Ward Burton again. He doesn't look happy again. I like this one. This is Robbie Gordon. Tony Stewart's always the guy that plays the intimidator. He gives Robbie Gordon a shove and then watch Robbie Gordon grab him back, and you notice Tony Stewart's eyes get real big, like, what do I do now? Uh-oh. He looks a little scared right here. Dominating weekend, pole both days, and a win. Oh, the old SARS mask. All in good fun, all in good fun. Tagliani, it's metrosexual, beard and mustache, looks great. Oh, this was a good one. Ari Leyendyk and AJ Foyt. Ari's mad. He should have won the race. It turned out he did win the race. He turns around. AJ gives him a cheap shot on the back of the neck and pushes him over when his back's turned. That's a sneaky Texan. Oh, nice right cross. Good follow through. Good extension. Might have a second career as a boxer. This is the classic of all time. PK leading the race, lapping greasy old salad bar at the end of the race. And then, whammo, out of the race. That was pretty unfair, really. PK's mad. Couple of punches. And his best imitation of a David Beckham.
For more classic moments, tune in to ESPN Classic Canada, where the legends come to play.